Hello, and welcome back. John 9. As he went along, he saw a man blind from birth. His disciples asked him, "Rabbi, who sinned, this man or his parents, that he was born blind?" "Neither this man nor his parents sinned," said Jesus, "but this happened so that the works of God might be displayed in him." I'm going to stop here. I know that's what it said, but translation is hard. I read a thing this past week. Another way to read that is, this happened, let the works of God be displayed in him. Because God does not cause suffering. Satan causes suffering. It's Greek, and the command and the explanation have the exact same words. It can be hard to discern them. Next, back to the text. "As long as it is day, we must do the works of him who sent me. Night is coming when no one can work. When I am in the world, I am the light of the world." After saying this, he spit on the ground, made some mud with the saliva, and put it on the man's eyes. "Go," he told him, "wash in the pool of Siloam." This word means sent. So the man went and washed, and came home seeing. His neighbors and those who had formerly seen him begging asked, "Isn't this the same man who used to sit and beg?" Some claimed that he was. Others said, "No, he only looks like him." But he himself insisted, "I am the man." "How then were your eyes opened?" they asked. He replied, "The man they called Jesus made some mud and put it on my eyes. He told me to go to Siloam and wash, so I went and washed, and then I could see." Where is this man?" they asked him. "I don't know," he said. They brought to the Pharisees the man who had been blind. Now the day on which Jesus had made the mud and opened the man's eyes was the Sabbath. Therefore the Pharisees also asked him how he had received his sight. "He put mud on my eyes," the man replied, "and I washed, and now I see." Some of the Pharisees said, "This man is not from God, for he does not keep the Sabbath." But others asked, "How can a sinner perform such signs?" So they were divided. Then they turned again to the blind man. What have you to say about him? It was your eyes he opened." The man replied, he is a prophet." They still did not believe that he had been blind and had received his sight until they sent for the man's parents. "Is this your son?" they asked. Is this the one you say was born blind? How is it now he can see?" "We know he is our son," the parents answered, "and we know he was born blind. But how he can see now, or who opened his eyes, we don't know. Ask him. He is of age. He will speak for himself." His parents said this because they were afraid of the Jewish leaders, who had already decided that anyone who acknowledged that Jesus was the Messiah would be put out of the synagogue. That was why his parents said, "He is of age. Ask him." The second time they summoned the man who had been blind. "Give glory to God by telling the truth," they said. "We know this man is a sinner." He replied, "Whether he is a sinner or not, I don't know. One thing I do know. I was blind, but now I see." Then they asked him, "What did he do to you? How did he open your eyes?" He answered, "I have told you already and you did not listen. Why do you want to hear it again? Do you want to become his disciples too?" Then they hurled insults at him and said, "You are this fellow's disciple. We are disciples of Moses. We know that God spoke to Moses, but as for this fellow, we don't even know where he comes from." The man answered, "Now that is remarkable. You don't know where he comes from, yet he opened my eyes. We know that God does not listen to sinners. He listens to the godly person who does his will. Nobody has ever heard of opening the eyes of a man born blind. If this man were not from God, he could do nothing." To this they replied, "You were steeped in sin at birth. How dare you lecture us?" And they threw him out. Jesus heard that they had thrown him out, and when he found him, he said, "Do you believe in the Son of Man?" "Who is he, sir?" the man asked. "Tell me so I may believe in him." Jesus said, "You have now seen him. In fact, he is the one speaking with you." Then the man said, "Lord, I believe," and he worshipped him. Jesus said, "For judgment I have come into this world, so that the blind will see, and those who see will become blind." Some Pharisees who were with him heard him say this and asked, "What? Are we blind too?" Jesus said, "If you were blind, you would not be guilty of sin. But now that you claim you can see, your guilt remains." May God bless the reading of His Word. Alright, so, last time, we did grinding against the current gym leader, Psychic type gym leader. And this time, we're gonna keep doing the same thing. I went through every single Pokemon that I have, and it still was not enough. So, we're gonna just keep going. Because we did get some levels, so it's not like we're getting no progress. It's just slow. And causes me to exercise, because battle losses. Go. Get any levels for that? No. What levels for that? We do. Alright. Dash Bun got 1 level. Oh, hey, we got to our last Pokemon. You're just as hard to get rid of as caked on mascara, I see. I need a good makeup remover. Come here, my little Florges. It's time for a makeover. You'll become a new you. And that was fast. Wow, we actually got to our last Pokemon today. That's something nice, eh? And now for something completely different, actually. Because we have Rellor in front. I was hoping that this would come up with at least one of the Pokemon. There are several Pokemon that will evolve via a certain method that I didn't find out about until I spoke to a certain NPC. A certain trainer. A little bit ago. So. Rellor, you need to be out front. Rellor is one of the Pokemon that evolves by this method. No. Rellor. Keep up. Rellor, keep up. It needs to get a certain number of steps while outside of the Pokeball, and then level up. So, what we're going to do is, we're not getting a whole lot of experience here, but I can at least run around. Oh, okay. So here's a fun thing. If a Pokemon levels up from experience gained through auto battles, it will not trigger any evolutions. This includes Pokemon that require this to evolve. Okay. The step counter is reset if the Pokemon is brought back into its Pokeball or put inside a box. Oh my goodness, how in the world do you do this? Okay, so that means that I have to walk at a sufficiently slow pace across an entire area and then walk into a Pokemon battle that gets it a level. Okay, you know, I said I would stop this at, you know, a multiple of 5, but we're stopping it here. We're gonna heal. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna start at this bridge. We're gonna run all the way across to that town all the way over there without letting Rellor go back into its ball. And then we're going to run into Pokemon battles over there until Rellor evolves. But we're going to do that next time. So, that's gonna be all for today. So, when we come back next time, we're going to try to evolve Rellor, and then we'll move forward. Now, that's not going to happen next week. Next Sunday is Easter. I'm not streaming on Easter. But The week after that, we will try to evolve Rellor, and then we will move forward on the challenge, the challenging the gym leader. Anyway, that's going to be all for today. Thanks for watching. I hope to see you next time.